Hi, everyone. I'm Ryann, and I'm the CEO, founder of Face of Botox Bar, FIB, Laser Aesthetic and Wellness. And today I'd like to welcome in the studio Jennifer, our marketing strategist and internal events planner, and also
got a special guest.
Special guest today, Mr. FIB.
Is he special? I mean,
my husband,
I guess he is.
Mark
Yes.
Lavinia.
I have my moments.
Yes.
I have my moments.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm glad. I'm glad you get to do this with us, Mark, today.
It's an honor to be here. You guys, this has been a great process of watching this place grow, and I'm excited to be a little bit of a part of it and excited for what the future holds in this place and everything that we've accomplished. And talking about what we're talking about today hits
all
hard,
about men.
Hits hard with me because I've kind of been the guinea pig for a lot of the stuff that's in here we're about to talk about. And it's been fun for me and exciting for me and has changed my life. So looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah. So when we started this business together, it's exciting because, family friends of all employees too engage in the services and get to do things. And, a funny little story is that when I started to see lines on my face, I went and got Botox and I was, 37 and, and this is a real conversation that happened. So I came home and he's like, what'd you go do? Very open to it, but honey, you don't need that. And you're beautiful the way you are. And how much did you spend? And I told him, and I was like, he's like, what? And I said, I make my own money. I can spend it where I want to.
You sure did.
And sure enough, within a couple months, he was doing it.
Well, okay. In fairness, it took a little bit longer than a couple months. She had to convince me wholeheartedly that this is something that I needed. I was in my younger 40s and thought I still looked fine and didn't really see anything. And then all of a sudden I saw, what she could do with it. And I'm like, well, all right, I kind of gave in. And she did the first one at our house. And it kind of ballooned from there.
Yeah.
So
You drank the Kool-Aid.
I drank the Kool-Aid, and now I am drinking a lot more of the Kool-Aid.
So let's talk about BROTOX and men engaging in these services.
Yeah. So with Mr. FIB, we call him, of course, the only guy with 21 women, and we're dragging him to all these things. And Mark, come here. We need to try this on you or whatever. So you've been a good sport.
Listen,
you are a good sport.
I got enough testosterone at home that it's fair that he has all this estrogen.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Yeah. BROTOX. So, you mentioned about, okay, so you dabbled in the Botox, you drank the Kool-Aid. Give us a little insight on that and what that's done. Or, men don't talk about these things a lot, right?
So Ron and I have been fortunate enough. She takes me along to a lot of the conferences that we go to, and there's a lot of guys there, and we talk a little bit about how there's a stigma in this industry about guys and men in general not wanting to come into a place like this. They feel like I don't need it, I don't want it. But I will say the services that I've done, and we'll get into some of the things, not just Botox, but some of the elaborate stuff that Ryann and her staff do in here. It's pretty easy to do. And it's easy to fall in love with how you start looking and how you start feeling. And Botox was the start of that for me. Back probably 6 years ago was my first treatment on Botox, and it took a few weeks for me to really start noticing the difference. And then over time, the 4 or 5 month window of starting to see it kind of go away, I'm like, wait a second, I didn't see that wrinkle the last few months. I need that again. And,
right.
For me, I became hooked. And I think that with being a guy, it's not something that we talk about quite often.
Correct.
Even in our circles, we're hanging out having some beers. It's not something I'm going to go, hey, look at my Botox, right? We're not going to.
I mean, my brother makes fun of him, even though I've haloed my brother before. But it's a joke, but look how good he looks.
Yeah, and that's the simple treatment. That's the easy fix.
Right. Because you're not a big fan of needles either. So
I'm not. I don't now. I don't mind them.
Most men are not.
I wasn't at the time, but I don't. Now I come in on a Friday and I'm like, hey, give me my B12 shot. Give me whatever Botox we have left. I might need it.
Yeah, so the Botox then, and that stigma there has kind of helped because, like you said, you talk to some of your friends and you're getting more comfortable. So then obviously, because we do see men, we're seeing more and more men.
Well, and to that point, we inject all of our providers, give that natural look where men aren't, what's the Christmas and the Cranks, or he goes to get Botox, and, that's not, so everybody will notice, but nobody will know what you're doing. And we have a lot of men engaging in these services and we make them look natural. They still have a lot of expression where people shouldn't notice, a dramatic, but the stagnant lines are gone over time and they're aging better.
Mhm.
So I just came in the other day and just got it done. So yeah.
So what's the frequency you come in?
For Botox, probably 4 months or so, plus or minus. I have a really super high metabolism that burns through it a little bit faster than maybe somebody else. But yeah, so probably a little bit more frequent than maybe somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, pretty consistent with what we have every 3 months. Patients are coming in, especially if they're, working out a lot. So
Yeah.
let's talk about filler. So filler for men, the
Yes.
stigmas and the secrets and, how are these celebrities aging well? How is my husband look so good? Filler. It's the secret, magic touch.
This is one that I just got a syringe, 5 syringes, not too long ago in my cheeks, and it's like the point where
And jawline.
and you're like, you want people to ask, hey, did you get something done? At the same time, you're thinking, I don't want anybody to ask,
Mhm.
right? I want it to look so natural that people are just like, hey, you got great cheeks and it looks good, and she is a tremendous provider that able to knows my face lines and all that. And
So
does a
what
great
was
job.
your biggest complaint?
It
was really your under eyes.
My under eyes, yes, definitely my under eyes. I sleep very well, but yet for whatever reason, I sleep on my face and I get some face lines.
Both of them do.
Welcome to the club, Mark.
Under here, I wake up with some bags from time to time, and so she got in here pretty good. Got my jawline down here.
And that's the expert part of doing this. He was complaining about his eyes.
Yeah.
There you go. His under eyes. And so I educated him on needing volume and his mid face, structure and support. And we'll post his before and afters. Amazing. And then we did some jawline with Juvederm Velux. And so he has really, the boys said, Dad, you look so good, but they didn't even know, and I think, we do have a lot of patients that engage in filler. So that educational piece on really aging gracefully. And a lot of the celebrity guys are doing it. There's a lot of talk of, things
And
like
I remember it wasn't a painful procedure by any means. It wasn't long. I was probably in and out of the office total time, less than an hour, and completely done and walked out. Cheeks were a little bit sore the next day, but totally gone.
No bruising.
No bruising. Yeah.
So no downtime.
No downtime.
Liquid lift over lunchtime, guys.
There you
You
go.
should do it.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with Botox as well. Like there's no
No
you come in,
bruising.
you can get in and out of the office within 30 minutes and maybe even less sometimes.
Well, I think more and more men are starting to do it, and maybe they don't talk about it, or maybe they don't want to. The same with women with certain things too. So the more and more we talk about it, the more and more that they see, and you're a great spokesperson for it too. What about your skincare? Because, your wife tells us a lot of bit about your skincare regimen and how you like certain products, and you've really gotten into that whole thing.
I've got them laid out here, and this is kind of like our nighttime deal where we tend to go to bed the same time just about every night. And
We have a drawer we share,
Yeah.
and it happens.
Mhm.
we'll sit in the bathroom. Her sink's right next to
He
mine.
was stealing mine.
We go through a regimen, and I start with like the eye care, which I think is somewhere in here. But we do eye care, the underneath stuff. I'll go right to maybe a vitamin C, and then onto a restorative skin, and then the retinol I finish off at night. I don't use the limit at night, but
What did you say to me one day about the retinol? You were like, I cannot live without
I
this
cannot
product.
live without it. Yeah. So I know women the girls go through their regular routine, and
Right.
and guys should not be shy about it for sure. It's something that has definitely helped my skin.
Mhm.
I'm 51, going on 52 in August, and feel like I look much younger than that, and get told that quite a bit. So,
And these are conversations we have with men. There's and women. There's staples in their skincare that they can be doing because the vitamin C radical protection protects from antioxidants, and then the retinol cellular turnover. So people using that every night. It's retinol versus tretinoin. The retinol is really nice and soft. We love the elastin. These are some of our top sellers, and he's seeing a difference in his skin texture even. And so that's really over time. Using it for now 2 years. And then, the illuminating serum. And, the fact that something else to talk about is we got him on a good skincare regimen because we had invested money in your skin.
Sure.
He is a baseball coach. He's out in the sun a lot, which we
living
still
in Florida,
have to.
we need
Living
that
in Florida,
sunscreen.
on the boat, out on the beach.
Yes.
So one of the things that Ryan convinced me to do that took a little bit of time was the skin resurfacing with the Halo and the BBLs.
Yes.
So I have, and a lot of you guys, if you follow us on social media, have seen me post typically around the Christmas time, typically right before that. I will do a daily on how I look from pre-Halo to post-Halo. Usually a 7-day window of posts there for me on what my face looks like the day after, 2 days after, and so on. And some of you comment on what did I do to my face?
Look like you got stung by a bee.
But I will
I
say
know.
it does. But I will say,
Look at his skin. I mean, it's glowing.
It does prevent a lot of things, and I know Ryan knows more of the terms than I do on this. But if you want to talk a little bit about.
Yeah, so we have him on a regimen. He's actually doing BBLs more often, than 4 months, but that's what we recommend for anti-aging and cellular rejuvenation, changing the way our skin cells age. But we do BBLs consistently. He does 1 Halo a year. Halo resurfacing helps with precancerous skin cells, the brown spots, the lentiginous, all of the as we age, people start seeing. And with the sun, damage that we're seeing in Florida all the time, we have them get checked out by dermatologists, and then we clear them to have that Halo procedure. But his skin he doesn't, it glows, tightens pores, and just overall rejuvenation and wrinkle reduction. And so he's on that consistent regimen along with skincare.
Yeah.
And, your friends, tell us about your friends, what they're saying.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, everybody says I got the glow, the Halo glow, and we talk a little bit about the procedure and the process, and there is some downtime to it. I have still continued to go to the office and it kind of become a walking billboard for it, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you're doing because you started with the BBL laser, the broadband light laser. Tell us a little bit about that. It's a Cyton device, and I know every 3 months, and give us a little bit how the BBL laser is, Ryan.
Yeah, so every 3 to 4 months. We also, another area to discuss, a lot of men that are bald men that have sun damage on their scalp. We do a lot of guys that come in for broadband light. We have excellent before and afters on some of those. The broadband light treatment, it's 30 minutes. It's you don't break the skin barrier, minimal downtime. It feels like a sunburn. Men are a little bit more, as far as sensitive to it. So, but it is an easy procedure. It's not painful, is it?
Not at all.
And it uses that light therapy, gets rid of the brown spots, the sun damage, things like that.
Yep.
No numbing, like you said. And
well, and the boaters and the golfers that we have, we do all of that, but we do see a lot of men patients that boat. We have a patient, she did a BBL, a Halo. Her husband came in and did it.
Yep.
He's about ready to do a second
And
one.
I will say she's done my hands as well.
Yes.
I am, as she mentioned, out on the baseball field quite a bit, or on the boat with long sleeves, and my hands sometimes don't get as protected, and she's done those and cleaned them up really nicely from the spots that used to be on them.
Yeah, so he literally has had, and we do face, neck, chest, hands on all of our women too. He had little basal cells, I call them little barnacles or SKs. So he had those all over, and they're pretty much gone. So the hands are a big pain point for golfers, and everybody doing pickleball outside.
so along with some of this, we've talked about BROTOX filler. Because you probably have had all the things. And granted, obviously, you're Mr. Fibb and you're here and you're Ryan's husband and stuff. But the couple of things that I know that, because usually you're a pretty good regular coming once a week for EMSCULPT, EMFACE.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about those, because those are obviously non-surgical, no needles.
So this is my Fib Friday, right?
Yes.
So I will come in
Fib
usually
Fit, yes.
every Friday and do my Fit Friday and hop on the EMSCULPT machine, which has literally been a blessing to me. And I know a lot of patients that come in here love that treatment. We all work out, right? We all go to the gym. We all try and keep ourselves in shape. We've been athletes our entire lives, and have always concentrated on a strong core and tried to eat right and do the right things. And a lot of times, the older we get, it's harder to maintain your midsection and want to look the way you want to look, right? So I never could ever get the look that I was desiring with the abs, and then
Like our 16-year-old
never
boys.
forget
Our
it.
16-year-old, like 6-packs anymore.
This
Yeah.
was a few years ago. Ryan came home and she's like, "There's this machine, and it's called EMSCULPT, and I'm gonna go try it out here in the next day or two." and she told me all about it and how it works. And I'm like, ah, that's just one of those 3 a.m. infomercials where you're vibrating your abs and you want to get something, and that's a waste of money. And then she's like, she went and she tried it. And she said she loved it. And then
That
she
was
told
the
me
bus tour.
the bus
when we
tour.
tried, yes.
But then she dropped on me the cost of what the machine actually was, and I'm like, all right.
Well, and
that was a second home for sure. And I'm like,
third or fourth.
she tried it out. She loved it. And I'm a believer in what she believes in.
Yeah.
And so
And that's important.
she made it a reality in the practice. And I started using it, and within 4 treatments was completely hooked on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's science based behind it. And you guys know, you've all been to the
Right.
meetings. I mean, there's a lot of science behind this machine. And we currently have a patient of ours who's a paraplegic,
Yeah.
her husband, and he's, doing intense rehab. Well, he's on the machine treating every area. He's doing his abs, he's doing his quads, his hamstrings, and his glutes, and he's able to do things in physical therapy right now that he couldn't. So there's also science behind
Sure.
it, like back pain. My back pain's gone. I know you've gotten
Yep.
stronger at the
Yep.
gym.
Yep.
There's just so many benefits. So scientifically based, we bring in.
And doing dental hygiene for myself, like leaning over patients and stuff. Like, so it's not even just like, hey, that whole 6-pack. It's like, it strengthens your core. It strengthens your back. Like, it's a whole,
And I've seen guys come in the practice that have done the bicep curls, right? Or
Yes.
they've
Mhm.
even I know the women get on there and do their butts and,
Yeah.
and,
One of
and
our
the glutes.
And one of his friends was doing a body competition, and he came in, and it took him to the next level of where his body has never been before. And we do have before and afters on that.
Yeah, and I'll sit in the EMSCULPT room in the suite there and maybe get a drip at the same time, do
Fib drip.
a fib drip while I'm getting that. So it's a 30-minute process, 20,000 crunches per
Mhm.
se. And who wants to sit at the gym and do 20,000 crunches, right? So it is cheating a little bit, but at the same time, it definitely has helped enhance my core, made it stronger. Made me feel good about how I feel, how I look in the mirror as well.
Well, and even if you're doing all that, time and doing core, we do abs every day at the gym,
Yeah.
you're not engaging 100% of that muscle. And so that's where the science again with the EMSCULPT NEO.
Yeah.
So
I
let's
love
talk about EMFACE.
Yeah. So I've done EMFACE as well, which is by the BTL group, and they introduced this. It's kind of like the filler, I guess, without having to go through all of the needles, if you will.
Non-surgical.
Non-surgical,
Mhm.
Yes,
right? So
non-surgical facelift.
I don't know if you want to go into a little bit more, but yeah, I've done that. It's raising my elevator muscles,
Yeah.
right? The elevator muscles, right?
Yes.
So it's a nice relaxing 20 minutes, and
kind of helps the skin, tightens the skin. They have one now for underneath here.
yeah,
I need to try
the
that one, the
submental.
forehead. So, it's a simple procedure, 20 minutes. I've tried it as well. But I think, again, it's another alternative, another thing to introduce to men that
Yep.
maybe don't want to do certain things, but yet want something because they're aging or the sun damage or, just all those different things that they want to kind of take it to the next level. What are my options?
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
so
when-
that treatment he did 4 of, and so it actually strengthens. So as we age, our muscles, and BTL's an innovative company. They actually designed and were able to isolate the elevator muscles in the face, the zygomatic major and minor and resource muscles. And so we went to a meeting when we got to try it, and you can actually put it on the frontalis, so that, and the submental, and it actually strengthens and pulls the face back together, essentially like a facelift. And it tightens those muscles. And so it's a comprehensive approach to, yes, you're going to do filler, but also, doing the EMFACE. And it also has radio frequency heat, which helps the skin, helps collagen, helps tightening. And so overall, a younger look for patients.
Yeah, if you don't want to go through the filler process that I mentioned earlier, if you want to just have a little bit more fill in here, or feel like you have more fill, or raise
Mhm.
those cheeks
A
a little
defined
bit.
jawline.
Thank you. Defined jawline. EMFACE definitely is a great alternative.
I think, too, it probably helps that little turkey neck area that we get, the
you
extra
talking
skin.
It does.
We all.
They just launched the submental, and it tightens the digastric muscle and a 30% reduction in that adipose tissue or fat and double chin. And it's incredible. Patients are having great results.
Yeah. See, men can grow a beard there and kind of hide that, but like
Yes.
women, we have to get something to,
It's the selfie thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
There was one thing that I need to mention
Uh-oh.
before we go. That's actually changed my whole
Let's hear
perspective
it.
on being 52 years old. Is we haven't talked about hormone replacement therapy
yeah.
for men, right? So I'm, like I said, going on 52 years old, and we get into our 40s, and I've been on this replacement therapy for 5 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and it is something that has definitely changed my life. All this other stuff that's in here is fantastic, and I've tried it all and done it all, and I'll continue to do it all to keep myself, number one, first and foremost, looking healthy and feeling healthy. But the testosterone replacement therapy has been a game changer for me. You get into the gym, and we talk about working out a lot, and we all do. Everybody, we go to the gym, we see these people, and nothing changes over years for these people as they're in the gym, as they're getting older. And for me, my workouts were starting to lag a little bit, and
Energy.
And I never thought anything about my testosterone being super low. I wasn't, in my mid 40s. I never thought about anything like that until she brought it up, and I came in and got the labs done, and
you were in the 300s.
I was in the 300s,
which normal's like 900, 1100.
Yeah, and so she talked to me about BioT and the pellets and versus the shots. I know I have a lot of my guy friends that do the shots, and they'll go once a week and get their shot or have it shipped to their house.
And you come in twice a year.
Twice a year. I come in every 5 to 6 months. I'll come in. It's a simple procedure that I'm in and out of the office in maybe 30, 45 minutes. And I do get pellets in the upper butt cheek, and they dissolve over time. And so for me, it has definitely changed the way that I feel, my approach towards the gym. My libido has definitely gotten better. My ability to lose,
All right.
And that's where I'm doing hormone replacement too. The couple's got to be on the same page.
Do we need a whole
right?
nother podcast for that?
Jen and Steve are saying, yes, getting real about,
you can probably tell too, like you get to your 5-month mark, and you start like, oh, it's time.
Yeah, wait a second. I didn't want to do that
well,
tonight. What?
Well, and at the gym, it's so funny because he's, these 30-year-olds are coming up to him, and he's, come home and he'll giggle. He'll be like, this guy just asked me, like, what are you doing? What do you, and just the compliments he's getting, and how, his friends are calling me and saying, I need to get in there. What are you doing for Mark? It's just, and it's really about, we work out so hard. We do all these things to feel so good. And why are people walking around that aren't living their best life? And, having that hormone replacement is a game changer.
For sure.
With overall wellness and feeling really good. If we're going to spend time on this earth, why are we, tired and having anxiety and all these things? And also getting really good benefits out of your workout when you're putting in extra work. Yeah. So it's really about feeling the best.
So when it's quality of life, right?
Yes.
So my sleep is better. I feel more engaged throughout the day. I don't get that afternoon where I need this or I need that. I really feel a really great energy. Couple that with the B12 shot once a week on my Fit Friday. And then you throw maybe some Orlin in as the peptide to help with the metabolism and increase some lean muscle.
And it's cardioprotective too. He's 6 years older than me. And, selfishly, I want him to age the best he can, and really be the healthiest. It helps with decreased risk of Alzheimer's too, so there's a lot of benefits for him and optimizing his health be preventative medicine, not just, patching.
Yeah, I was just going to say, as a guy, these are all fantastic approaches towards living a better life, but it really boosts you mentally, right?
Yeah.
To say, hey, I just did this. I put my money into this. I've got to do something to elongate that, right? So I want to make that last longer. I want to, if I'm going to put X amount of dollars into my health, which we know a lot of great athletes and a lot of celebrities, they benefit from the ability to get into spas and do these great things to make themselves look younger over time, right? So Dolly Parton, for instance, she's done a lot of work over with her face and everything. She doesn't look like she's what is she, 80 years old?
Maybe.
I'm sure she's done something with her. I don't know.
I bet she does hormones. Yeah.
But my point is that you don't, if you're going to spend the money and come in and do the time, you still have to do things externally. You still got to eat right. You still got to exercise. You still got to do all those things, right? So, but it forces you a little bit more in your hand to do those things.
I love that, again, that you came in, Mark. I love I wanted to hear about more about a men's aspect of it, and more men coming in. So I love having you on here to talk about you, Mr. Fib.
Yeah. I know. We had a patient the other day who came in and she's like, I didn't realize how many men come in here. You know, there's just, I think you're, you know, men in general in your age group, people, you know, men are seeking solutions to their problems. And why are they feeling that way? And I think, you know, they shouldn't be afraid to talk about it. And shots aren't the only option, because we do have a lot of patients, men who travel and they couldn't go get their shots every week. You got to get your blood tested. You know, these things that interrupt their life, their, you know, ability to do their job, where he's coming in, you know, every 5 or 6 months, you get your blood tested, you know, 6 weeks after. And so that really is something you get them and you don't have to think about it.
I just feel like, guys, we need to erase the stigma of taking care of ourselves in this kind of way, right?
Mhm.
This is definitely a boost to help you achieve your goals on what you're trying to achieve, and live a long, healthy life, right? That's what we're on this earth to do, and hopefully we can all fit, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if any guys out there would love to reach out to me directly for any questions that we might have covered, or comments that we might have covered here today, you can see below and see my handles at social media, and feel free to reach out to me anytime.
You can also reach us at 239-322-3815 and
www.faceitbotoxbar.com. We have Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
so call us for your complimentary consultation. Come talk to us. Real people, real results, and we want to help you.
Do you fib?
I fib. Do you fib?
I fib.
You
should
should fib.